Most travelers hand over their passport at check-in, touch the minibar, and sleep under the hotel blankets without a second thought. That's a mistake. Here are 7 secrets your hotel has never told you and isn't planning to. A few years back, Diane and I were staying at a small hotel in Brazil. We headed out for the night, but I ran back to our room to grab a water bottle I'd forgotten. I used my key, pushed the door open, walked in, and I immediately knew that something was off. The suitcases in the corner weren't mine, the clothes on the bed weren't mine, and it took a few seconds for it to fully register that I was standing in someone else's room that had opened with my key. I backed out of there as fast as I could, and I quickly realized that if my key could open their door, then their key could certainly open my door. At first, I just assumed that this was a quirk of a small, older property with cheap locks. But it turns out the same vulnerability exists in modern hotels with electronic key cards on a much bigger scale. In 2024, a group of security researchers exposed a vulnerability called Unsafe lock, which is a flaw in a popular brand of hotel keycard locks called SafeLock. These locks are installed in over 3 million doors across 13,000 properties in 131 countries. What's worse is that SafeLock started manufacturing these locks in 1988. That means this security vulnerability existed for 36 years before it was discovered. All the thief needs is a single used key card from the property, even an expired one picked up from the checkout box. With that, they can use a $300 device that anyone can buy online or even certain Android phones to create a master key that opens any room in the building. As of 2024, only about 36% of these locks have received the update, and the upgrade process requires replacing every lock, reissuing every key card, updating the front desk software, and a bunch of other techie stuff. That's a slow process, and they warn that, quote, it will take an extended period of time for the majority of hotels to be upgraded. The most common locks affected look like this, but there's also no way to visually tell if the lock in front of you has already been patched or not. Since it's impossible to tell how secure your lock is, it's best to treat your door as imperfect and not think of it as your only line of defense. Use the deadbolt or door chain every time you're in your room because neither of those can be bypassed by the keycard exploit, although they can be bypassed using other simple tools. And when it comes to your valuables, don't leave them visible in your room at all. Always hide them properly because it's safest to assume that your door isn't as secure as it looks. Next, most people know that if you drink something from the minibar, you're going to get charged for it. What most people don't realize is that in many hotels, you can even get charged just for picking something up and then putting it back. Many hotels now use minibars with built-in weight sensors and RFID detectors that automatically charge your room whenever something is moved. At some properties, the sensor logs a charge if an item has been out of position for more than 30 seconds, which is just long enough to pick something up, check the nutrition label, and put it back. Some hotels have a warning message about this system, but not all of them. One journalist who stayed at a DoubleTree in Chicago found 6 minibar charges on his bill for items his family had never consumed. No warning signs were posted anywhere in the room, and the hotel removed the charges only after he pushed back at the front desk. This is still an issue in many hotels today, and many guests who don't check their bill carefully just end up paying. The simplest solution is to never touch minibar items unless you plan to consume them. If you have kids who might get curious, or you just want to use the fridge for your own stuff, you can ask the front desk to lock or empty the mini fridge at check-in. And always review your bill in detail before you check out while you're at the property, and it can still challenge anything that's not right. Fighting a minibar charge from home is rarely going to be worth the effort. Next, if you've ever stayed at a hotel internationally, you know how the check-in process goes. Passport out, they scan it, they hand it back, and you're on your way. What you probably don't know is where that scan goes. That image gets stored in the hotel's management system. And at many properties, there's no formal deletion policy. It just sits there. So what happens when that system gets breached? In the summer of 2025, Italian authorities discovered that a hacker had obtained roughly 90,000 high-resolution passport and ID scans taken directly from the hotel check-in systems and posted them for sale on the dark web. And that's just one incident in one country that got caught. Data breaches don't just happen at small, insecure properties either. They also happen at big hotel chains. Best Western's parent company disclosed in April 2026 that hackers had silent access to their guest reservation system for 6 months straight. Names, email addresses, phone numbers, numbers, home addresses, reservation details, all exposed for half a year before anyone even noticed. So what can you do about this? Different countries have different legal requirements for what hotels are allowed to do with your information. Some might require a scan of your passport, but countries in the EU are under the GDPR law. This strictly regulates personal data collection, and hotels have gotten big fines for gathering more information than they need or not storing it properly. So depending on the country you're in, ask the front desk 2 questions. What is your data retention policy for passport scans? And what's the minimum information that you can give them? If the front desk staff doesn't have a clear answer for you, then that should tell you something. In countries where the data itself is all that police need for their records, you can ask them if you can just write down only the required information instead of them taking a full-on scan of your passport. Sometimes giving access to your information is unavoidable though, and it's just something you kind of have to deal with if you want to travel the world. The breaches and hacks we've covered so far involve data leaving the hotel without their permission. But this next one's a bit different. It's by design. Hotel loyalty programs are built around collecting your data. Booking history, personal details, your spending patterns, purchase history, all of it's being tracked and stored. And IHG's own public available privacy statement explicitly states that they sell or share guest information with advertisers, data enrichment providers, and analytics vendors. That's not a leaked document. That's the hotel's own language right there in their privacy policy that most guests never read. Once your information leaves the hotel system and reaches a data broker, it doesn't go away when you check out. It stays there, and your data is available for anyone willing to pay for it. That's exactly why I've partnered with Incogni, the sponsor of today's video, because it's not just what happens when hotels get hacked. It's about the fact that your personal information is circulating across data broker databases right now, available to anyone willing to pay for it, including scammers. And most people have no idea how to get their information removed or that they even can. Incogni automates the whole process. It finds your personal information across hundreds of data broker databases and sends legally binding removal requests on your behalf. We're talking your name, your home address, your phone number, financial information, even information about your health. All these types of personal info ends up in these databases without you even signing up for anything. Incogni handles the whole takedown process automatically, and they keep working on it continuously because data brokers will just keep re-adding your information over time. I've been using Incogni for about a year now, and they've removed my information from over 619 data brokers, which has saved me 464 hours in doing it manually. And that's assuming I could even figure out how to do it manually. You can get a discount on Incogni and start protecting your personal data today using the link in the description or on screen with code Untethered at checkout. Quick disclosure before this next one. What I'm about to share comes from current and former housekeepers on Reddit and TikTok. Not a peer-reviewed study, but the stories are consistent, and once you understand the time pressure that housekeepers are under, the logic makes sense. At many hotels, housekeepers are given as little as 30 minutes to turn a room, strip the bed, clean the bathroom, vacuum, dust, and restock, all before the next guest arrives. When you actually try to do that math, cutting corners becomes inevitable. Like duvets, for example. Multiple housekeepers have described the same policy on record. The duvet and the decorative blankets on top of the bed get changed only when they're visibly stained, not between every guest. The white sheets should be changed between every guest, but the heavy blanket on top of them, as needed. One former housekeeper said it plainly. That blanket has been on many bodies and probably on the floor. These policies obviously may vary depending on the type and location of the hotel, but it will make you think twice before snuggling in that blanket. Even dirtier than the blanket is the TV remote. One study found it to be among the most heavily contaminated surfaces in hotel rooms, ranking up there with toilets and bathroom sinks. And yet housekeepers under time pressure are typically just going to give it a quick wipe down at best, probably with the same cloth that just went across the nightstand. And then we got those drinking glasses. Housekeeping carts don't usually carry dish soap. Multiple housekeepers have reported that when the in-room glasses need cleaning, the practical solution is often a rinse with water and a squirt of shampoo, or sometimes just a polish with a cloth until they look clear. Many hotels have switched to sealed disposable cups, so if your hotel has them, use those. The easy fixes to a grody hotel room are: 1. Pull the duvet off when you arrive and sleep only under the white sheets. Yes, this might mean turning the AC down a little bit. 2. Wash your hands every time after you touch that remote. 3. Use the sealed cups if available, or bring your own water bottle. And 4. Hit the like and subscribe button to see more videos on how to travel safer and smarter. Next, for years, hotels had a pricing trick that worked because travelers either didn't notice or didn't push back. They'd advertise a room at, say, $150 per night, and then at checkout, you'd discover a resort fee on top of that. It covered things like pool access or Wi-Fi or things that you assumed were already included. The fees were buried in fine print, and by the time you saw them, you're already standing at the desk with your bags packed. But in 2025, the FTC's junk fees rule took effect in the United States. That made it illegal for a hotel to advertise a base room rate without including all the mandatory fees in the total price shown. When you search for a hotel now, the price you see has to be the price you pay. Hotels can still charge resort fees, destination fees, amenity fees, because the law doesn't ban the fees themselves. It just means they can no longer hide them in the fine print until the end. It's important to know that this is a US law though. It applies to US hotels and booking platforms, but if you're booking something internationally, the local rules apply and they can vary significantly. So always check the full price breakdown and fine print if you're booking anything internationally. If you are charged a fee in the US that wasn't advertised in the original price, you have legal grounds to contest it. Start at the front desk and calmly explain that the fee wasn't advertised and you'd like to have it removed. Most properties will do this instead of escalate because the alternative is a formal complaint. If they refuse, you can file a complaint with the FTC, and violations carry penalties of up to $53,088 per occurrence. And as a last resort, you can always dispute the charge with your credit card company. Next, at well-trained hotels, staff are trained not to announce the guest room aloud at the front desk. The reason comes straight from hospitality security guidelines. Anyone in the lobby can hear that number, and someone who knows your room number knows exactly where to find you and where you won't be when you leave. With your name and room number, they can also put charges on your room. Top-tier properties are supposed to write your number down on your keycard sleeve and hand it to you discreetly. But even well-trained staff at well-known hotels can slip up. This happened to me recently in the Marriott here in Colombia when they announced my room number in front of everyone in the lobby. If it happens to you, politely ask the staff to write it down instead. And if you have a bad vibe about who could have overheard your number, then request a different room. It's a small thing, but combined with everything else we've covered today, it's a reminder that hotels have more security gaps than most guests realize. And I've really only scratched the surface in this video. There are many other security risks that hotels are not going to tell you about, which is why I made an entire video of every other hotel security gap that you need to know about. Watch it next to stay safe on your next trip. Like, subscribe, do the things. Love you. Bye-bye.